All right, hello everybody, and welcome back to the Mania 7 Key World Cup 2025 quarterfinals weekend. We've just got a few matches left coming up, but for now, we're going to be looking at France versus Canada. The winner of this match does still have to play another match after this as well, and it'll be immediately after this. So that's going to be exciting. But the loser will be eliminated. All the stakes on the line. I am Toph Daddy, one of your commentators, joined here by Potassium F. How's it going?
Yeah, I'm doing well right now. A few matches that we have in a row, and as you said, the winner of this is not even done yet. They have to play two back-to-back if they want to progress into the semifinals weekend in the loser's side. It's going to be an exciting one.
Definitely is going to be a seed 15 versus seed 21. Canada, historically, actually both of these teams historically a bit stronger than what we're seeing from their seeding this year. But they did, both teams losing a sizable number of players, notably Elementaires, not on France's team, and a few players gone from Canada. A bunch of players gone from Canada. Mr. Moo pretty much the only player left there.
Yeah, I know, players like Harambe and Tricked, I think, from previous years. Perhaps playing on the Canadian side, which was why they were scoring so high last year. But still strong teams this year, making it this far, of course, and they're looking to try and contest for that semi-finals position. Also, important to note, at the same time, we do actually have two matches happening simultaneously, so there should be the B stream up right now, Osu Live _2, which should be playing, what is that match right now? Peru versus Spain.
Yes, Peru versus Spain happening over on the B stream, so have both streams open, watch whichever one you want, but make sure to keep paying attention because I think both are going to be really good matches. Peru versus Spain in the losers bracket, looking to make it to the loser semifinals to face the United States, I think. So got a tough opponent ahead of them, but they've got to put that aside for now and focus on the match. But France, Canada, all the stakes, like we said, not done after this, even if they are to win. But protects and bans coming out. Looks like Canada did win that role and go for the first protect for LN1. I mean, that makes sense. Canada's been pushing the LN advantage they have pretty much not solely, but largely off the back of Mr. Moo, who's one of the best long no players in the tournament right now.
Yeah, I definitely think of Mr. Moo when I'm thinking of just LN players in general, especially when it comes to, well, I usually associate him with LN coordination picks as well. That would be LN4, which is still up until France ban it because it was not protected, actually.
Yeah, the protection on it, I mean, LN1, LN4 both kind of have that coordination. I think it really just depends what is more comfortable. And I think for a coordination player like Mr. Moo, I would imagine inverse is more straightforward to be consistent on versus something like LN4 where it's 3 minutes, you can miss a lot more on that and requires quite a bit more control. So looking for that protect. We did see a Rice 3 protect from France, so keeping the jacks open. And at that point, Hybrid 3 a ban. That's interesting. Ooh, whoa.
That is a really interesting ban.
I think did not speak correctly there. No banning twice, just one ban.
Right. Okay. But the Hybrid 3 ban may be Canada's second player, perhaps, having some issues because it is one of the more difficult maps in the pool, being 4 minutes long as well.
Yeah, it really long, has a lot of complexities, but sort of goes to show Canada maybe not super confident when it comes to just switching skill sets off the bat, which could come into play if we end up seeing a tiebreaker, but we've got a lot of match to get through before we even start thinking about that. But Hybrid 3 banned out. I imagine they're going to start off with the long notes. I don't really think they're going to be going for anything else. France seem to be signaling that they're not comfortable with them and more comfortable with the Rice pool. And Canada, obviously, protecting that long note and have 3 available to them to go with. I imagine probably LN3 would be my guess. Keep the protect open and go with the more coordination-oriented.
Yeah, LN3 has been a very popular first pick, for sure, out of the LN pools. Unless they, of course, want to just go for their protect right away, which a few teams have been going for.
Yeah, absolutely. For a team like Canada, definitely not a bad choice, though. In my eyes, I would probably want to use that as like a momentum swing where like, oh, we just lost a breakpoint, we need to get it back, or we just got a breakpoint on France, we want to establish a lead. That's the kind of situation where I would expect someone like this to really want to take advantage and feel like they have a more guaranteed win, so to speak.
Yeah, like save the more comfortable wins, quote unquote, for a higher stress situation in the match later on.
But still waiting for that first pick from Canada. We'll have to see if they decide to go with that long note. I don't think they're going to be sticking their head into the hybrids for the most part until they're out of those long notes. So it's really just about what order they kind of want to go in at this point. And the Protect does come out, so they're starting off out of the gate with that inverse coordination long note pick here.
Yeah, going straight for that, not wasting any time. They want to guarantee their first point, assuming that they are super comfortable on this one, of course. Because I do think France is quite good at their LN as well.
Yeah, France in general is just pretty well-rounded as a team. It's not quite the skill focus, I guess, in one specific area. I think in this case, France, looking at that rice pool is more of a way to attack what Canada's not as strong at versus feeling more comfortable on the pool potentially.
It's always nice to have that kind of like team balance in the skill sets overall so that you can kind of adapt your game plan against each individual team that you come across.
Yep, and we are watching players swap in. Lil Pop coming in for Canada, Mr. Mu obviously staying in. It would be a crazy day to see Mr. Mu leave the lobby for a map like this.
Yep. I feel like these two are probably going to be the two players that stay on for almost every pick for Canada.
Yeah, I can definitely see that happening. But France, looking at a full swap, Jerem coming in and Moket coming in for the wall inverse pick. Ooh, maybe not Lil Pop, or maybe they're just swapping into a different slot or something. There they are, they're back.
Yeah. And I think France have a few players who they have been kind of switching in and out depending on the individual map. So they might have some of that advantage when it comes to maintaining players' stamina, giving some players a break here and there.
Definitely could be, but here we go. Canada's Protect going to be the first pick here out of a possible 11. Canada looking to start on the right foot. France looking to not back down and try to get a break point right away. All comes down to inverse for now.
And everyone actually off to quite a good start. We've seen a lot of shaky starts on the start of this, of course, being the full inverse. Very hard to be comfortable with. Early miss there for Jerem.
Yeah, early miss gives Canada a little bit of a lead. Accuracy's staying mostly consistent. Jerem finding another break, but a clean one at that, staying in the mid-98 range. So continues to find breaks as the more consistent inverse pattern with the faster streaming comes around. And 21,000 points out of the gate as Lil Pop and Mr. Mu both hold on to some good accuracy, full combos, matched by Moket as well, but just those misses and accuracy drops from Jerem enough to extend a lead to about 25,000 points right out the gate.
There's quite a few misses in a row, but the accuracy for Jerem is still not too bad. Following actually raising the accuracy up to a high 98 pretty shortly, it seems. So this lead might start shrinking over time, especially with Mr. Mu getting the miss halfway into the map.
Yeah, two full combos, one on each side left. Jerem fighting another miss to trade that away. Moket and Lil Pop holding on to it, but Moket does find the break for France, and that is the last full combo for France there. Lil Pop holding strong for Canada as that lead starts to increase even further going into the second half with that full combo and Mr. Mu recovering the combo, but Lil Pop breaks it in the coordination section. No full combos on the board, and oh my goodness, a lot of misses from Lil Pop as a pretty nasty chain of misses there. It reduces the lead to about 28,000, but a double miss from France is enough to get that lead back to a good point for Canada as Mr. Mu now back to their comboing ways, and France continues to find a little bit of consistency issue in this more difficult ending, and that lead just ballooning now.
Yeah, no chance of a comeback here. Just too many misses in a row for France, and Canada has just been holding on. Despite a few misses themselves, they've managed to keep that consistent combo. And the higher accuracy along with it, Mr. Moo, 99.4. Absolutely crushing it in terms of the accuracy.
Yeah, ridiculous score. It looked like a 1 miss from Lemon. Maybe not even a miss, probably a 50. Oh, okay, it was a miss. Weird to get one of those on a map like this, but still, just the 1 combo break with a 99.4%, getting Canada the win, and actually very good performance just in general. Lelpop beating out both of the French players as well, so strong opening pick there, but that was their protect, so I was expecting them to feel pretty confident on a map like that anyways.
Yeah, you don't protect such a specific skill set as full inverse unless you are really comfortable at it, and Canada is showing exactly why here. But France now, they get their own decision, and I think they might go towards some of those riots. Actually, the protect again, right away, protect after protect.
Yeah, I don't see matches start off this way very often, but I guess go with what you're most comfortable with. Go with what you think you have the best chance of winning. As it's a strategy that some teams do hold out with, but have to see how it pans out. It's interesting that they went with something like this, given how straightforward the map style is. The patterns aren't particularly easy as far as core jack goes, but accuracy should be very straightforward for everyone in this lobby. So I'm interested to see if Canada's going to be able to hold up, despite France obviously feeling very confident in it.
Yeah, it's always one of those picks, especially this week. As you said, it's very straightforward to hold the accuracy on this one as long as you can keep up with the density. And if there is any kind of small mistake, I can imagine Canada definitely being good enough to hold strong combos and accuracy to be able to capitalize on anything that France might slip up on.
Absolutely. As you mentioned before, Canada's pretty much sticking with these two. Mezimu and Lelpop. France going to have Jerem still in alongside Milla, who swaps in for the Jack pick.
And we'll see how this one turns out. Expecting some pretty high accuracies on this, especially compared to that previous map.
Yeah, here we go. Opening accuracies look like they slightly favor France, though the section not going to be as impactful. Density isn't quite as built up, and even this first denser section is not too dense compared to some of the later portions of the map. So this will give us an idea of how well they're able to hold up, more so than whether we expect them to miss. But the accuracy lead currently in France's favor as everyone holds the combo above 400, and we see Lelpop having a little bit of struggling keeping up with the accuracy, but Jerem an early break, and Mr. Moo having an accuracy that should be able to take advantage of that as they build up the combo, but Lelpop is going to trade that miss right back, and a double miss there.
Yeah, big act drop for Lelpop down to 98.4, and it looked like even without those misses from Lelpop, France was stabilizing just about in terms of the accuracy. Both of their players on 99.6 right now, despite the miss. And Lelpop down at 98.5, so accuracy advantage well in favor of France right now.
And we have one full combo on each side. Lelpop still building up. The denser section starting to come around. A little bit of extra density in this core jack area, and Lelpop struggling to read through it compared to the rest of the lobby. That lead starts to balloon a little bit, 26,000 points, as both the combo and accuracy are struggling a little bit. Milla does miss and give a little bit of room to come back for Canada, and another miss from Milla there as Lelpop holds onto the combo through this section, but that accuracy leaves something to be desired at the moment. Needs to start picking that up if they want to, if Canada wants to start bringing this back. Running out of time, just a quarter of the map left, and more mistakes are going to have to come out, but that's not what Canada wants to see, with Mr. Moo breaking that final full combo in the lobby.
Yeah, solid lead right now for France. Lelpop finding another miss there, and really this accuracy has been the story. All four players been fairly consistent as far as the accuracy goes, and that's just helping France out as they do have that advantage. Jerem actually increasing up to 99.8 almost in this last section.
Yeah, extremely dense finish to the chart here. Everyone holding on for now. Everyone about 400 combo, but that lead, 45,000 points, needs a collapse from France if anything's going to change. But it is instead going to be Lel Pop struggling through again, finding a couple misses, and France going to take a pick on their own Protect. So both Protects now off the table, and true Core Jack scores have never been seen quite like this. 0-0-1-2 for Jerem. What a classic Core Jack score.
That is absolutely a core. You don't even need to tell me the map. You can tell that one is on a Core Jack map for sure. And difference in 200 counts and the ratios you can see pretty clearly between the two teams. France doing fairly solidly on their own Protect there and tying it up 1-1.
Absolutely, but back to Canada's pick. They've got 2 long no picks available to them to go with. This has to be, I imagine this has to be LN3. I don't think Canada really wants to go into the density pick right away. I think that's probably the one that France will have the best opportunity to kind of put on a performance against Canada for. But, these kinds of picks really, Canada's going to have to pick it eventually anyways. So one way or another, it's just order being changed.
Yeah, it's whatever they're kind of feeling right now, I guess, is the important thing. But, I mean, if you are picking your Protect first, and you're just going the straightforward route of just picking in order of likelihood of winning, then I think LN3 would be a good call.
Canada taking their time on these picks. Took a little bit of time for LN1. Need to make sure their ducks are in a row. And I mean, in a high stress situation like this, where your tournament life is on the line, makes sense to want to get your breathing ready, make sure everything's good. But Hybrid 2 actually going to be the pick here. So not even picking through the long note pool in this scenario. Certainly a better hybrid pick for Canada, I think, between the two. But interesting to see them not going into the more dense long note picks after winning so dominantly on LN1.
Yeah, of course it's kind of hard to exactly transfer that win on LN1 into the other LN picks as well, because it is so different in terms of skill set. LN1 being a lot more niche as far as that goes.
Yeah, certainly. Inver is a little different from everything else in that, LN4 being the only one kind of comparable to it, getting banned out by France. But looking to stick it again here with some kind of awkward hybrid-y patterns. You've got some coordination long note requirements throughout basically this entire map. But on top of that, you've got some really tough shields and technical patterns all throughout it. And I think that's kind of what they're banking on, looking at trying to get the long note skills of shields and inverse and coordination, kind of that I imagine Canada feels they're stronger at than France, especially after that LN1 performance.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll see how they end up performing on this one. How France also is performing, because I feel like the hybrids kind of have been looking good for both teams so far in the tournament. We're not going to see Moquette being switched in for Jerem, making a reappearance here.
Yeah, an interesting kind of swap in, because for that LN1 pick, we saw Jerem and Moquette, but this time we're seeing Milla actually taking the slot, who swapped in for the Rice. So potentially looking at that Rice ability requirement for these hybrids and seeing Milla stay in for this as a result.
That is kind of one thing that I was noticing. Looking at the scores for France in previous rounds and the qualifiers as well, I struggled to kind of find any kind of straightforward player selection for France. It really does almost feel random for each map. I guess it just goes to show how all three players can kind of just play everything. They probably up to the individual map comfort.
Yeah, and I mean, at that point, it gives you kind of a really nice advantage in tournament settings like this, where if someone's not feeling great on a certain pick, you have 2 other people who can just take those slots. But one way or another, getting into this hybrid, we see an early break from Milla there on one of those long note patterns. accuracy looks slightly in favor of France despite that miss, but they're pretty even. I think that score lead is pretty much 100% off of that early miss from Milla.
Yeah, absolutely. Still a lot of really awkward patterns to come in right now as well. A lot of really tricky LN releases at the same time. So very easy to find misses in these sections, and Milla does find another miss here. That's going to give Canada back the advantage, but only by a little bit.
And ooh, double miss from Canada there. Mr. Moo and Lil Pop both finding some issues on that transition pattern. Moquette, the only FC remaining, and Milla finding a way back on their feet. Above 400 combo, now 9,000 point lead for France on this hybrid selection, as both of the Canadian players now also above 400, trying to claw back that accuracy, but accuracy squarely in France's advantage. But Moquette does find a drop, but the accuracy might be enough to double miss. Huge combo breaks from France. They're not able to hold strong. Lil Pop trading one of them back, but that lead has shrunk to almost nothing.
Yeah, massive misses from both teams. Moquette and Milla again. This is actually going back to Canada. Even though it feels like France still have this accuracy advantage, this combo is not staying consistent at all as Moquette picks up one more.
Yeah, this kind of has been a little bit of a trend we've been seeing through this. Lil Pop finding a break in this Rice-oriented section. Lots of technical mini-jacks here. Lil Pop trying to hold on to the consistency. That lead shrinking based on the accuracy. Moquette trades got one of them, but Lil Pop finding more breaks, and they're just trading back and forth to these final patterns. And a double break from France as Mr. Moo, the only player able to hold on to the combo, and as the LN transition happens, Lil Pop finds some ground, and that lead is ballooning now to 21,000 just off of that transition.
There's so many misses in a row for France there, 21,000, and that's the end of the map. Mr. Moo managing to combo through the entire thing, and Lil Pop holding on the combo long enough as well. That is going to be Canada taking their own pick again.
And accuracy was pretty squarely with France for most of that. The incredible performance from Mr. Moo with only 2 misses through that map, and Lil Pop, despite having some accuracy struggles in the 97 range, was able to hold combo very well and do just enough for Canada to hold on to that point. No breakpoints yet.
We are definitely in that realm of the, or that kind of section of the tournament where combo can definitely carry you through a lot of maps here. And we saw it just there, combo gaming.
Especially on a map like that where accuracies are going to start dropping pretty quickly. The lower accuracies are across the board, I think the more combo starts to matter. And in 7 key, we're already seeing that matter quite a bit more than we normally would in like a 4 key tournament, where I think accuracies generally tend to stay in the mid to high 99 range until like finals and grand finals.
Yeah, 7k accuracy is just a completely different beast, especially with, I mean, 7 columns, you know, a lot more to keep track of.
A lot more to keep track of and a lot more finger independence to kind of shake out, and it's a lot harder to handle. But Rice for a quick pick coming out from France, sticking with the Rice, but going kind of across the spectrum, going from the most straightforward pick to the most complicated pick in the Rice pool, looking for the consistency to matter, and worst actually coming in for France on this.
Okay, France showing again. They have a lot of players they can sub in for these picks, don't they?
Yeah, the swap outs are very useful, I think. Interesting for one, useful for another, and gives an opportunity that if players need breaks, they can. And I mean, Moquette kind of left that lobby very quickly. We saw both of the French players actually having some struggles at the end and probably needed to get out of the lobby for potentially some mental, but able to swap in worse there for Moquette. Canada still sticking with the main 2, Mr. Moo and Lil Pop. Milla staying in as well for France.
And this one being a lot more technical, a lot more bursty as well. And a short map at 2 minutes means that we might see a bit of fireworks when it comes to the combo.
Combo in general has been favoring Canada for the most part. We saw them struggling a little bit with combo on that jack pick, but this is not quite the same beast. Worst, an early break there before 400 combo. but trying to recover now. Accuracy actually looks like it's in favor of Canada at the moment. That was a pretty nasty break early on from Worst there, but Lelpop is going to match that miss a little bit cleaner, stays above Worst's accuracy. And Mr. Moo just about matching Milo, so we might be seeing a very even match here, but Worst going to find another break right as players are starting to get above 400 combo as well.
Canada's going to maintain their lead, but just by a little bit worse, finding a repeat misses. Mr. Moo does break the full combo, but it still looks like it is going to be in Canada's favor, and actually the lead shrinking now.
Ooh, but a miss from Lelpop. One full combo on the board right now, one combo on the board above 400. Worst continuing to find some issues in the slow section, but Milla holding down the fort with the full combo. Down by 5,000, but Lelpop breaks, trades that miss from Worst, and they're going to start building up a little bit of a lead as the combos start getting back up above 400. Mr. Moo is there, but accuracy looks good for France here. Worst above 400, Lelpop building up, and we're at an even game as the combos start to even out.
Oh my god, perfectly tied up. Traded misses once again. The accuracies for both teams are perfectly even, it feels like. And the misses are just going back and forth.
Worst fighting another break, back and forth. Traded misses. It's worse than Lelpop, just trading misses back and forth. Milla and Mr. Moo holding down the fort. It's whoever misses less, and Milla finds another break, and Mr. Moo trying to carry it, but Lelpop fighting a bigger break, and that lead goes to France despite the misses.
Oh my god,
it's just swapping back and forth.
taking turns. There's only a few seconds left of the map. It's only 2,000 points. And another trade. Who's going to miss last?
God,
it's really going to be it.
And France takes a lead right at the end, and they take it by 2,500 points. Oh my goodness.
A one miss difference and the very 16 misses each perfectly traded back and forth between Worst and Lelpop.
And it all came down to accuracy. 200 count better for Worst compared to Lelpop. 200 count better for Milla compared to Mr. Moo. That one miss almost was enough to take it back, but 2,600 points is enough for France to maintain that lead, get the win, and stop Canada from getting a break point.
But man, these points are already getting close. We're only 4 maps in.
Yeah, you'd think with a seed discrepancy like 15 to 21, it almost feels like there should be a larger difference, but these two teams are basically exactly matched up with each other right now.
I wonder... I mean, surely now Canada would have to go for the LN3, right?
That would be my guess, but Hybrid 2 looked pretty good for them. I don't think Hybrid 1 is really the pick to go for. I mean, if I was in Canada's shoes, I would go back into the LN pool, but it's so tough to make a decision.
Yeah, I mean, Hybrid 1 is a very different one than Hybrid 2, so I don't think you would pick it for the same reasons that you did for that earlier Hybrid. And
yeah,
as you said before, LN2 is probably the one that you don't want to be playing quite yet either.
Definitely, it seems like LN3 would be the most logical decision. At this point, we're getting to a point where Canada maybe wants to just pick whatever they're comfortable with, but LN3 is going to be that for them here. Looking to continue the train of own pick points, trying to stop France from getting a break point, and dipping back into the LN pool that worked extremely well for them on their first pick of LN1.
And we actually are going to be seeing a swap in for Canada, Lelpop being switched out for Genuine.
An interesting decision in that case. Lelpop, I would expect to be on most of the long no picks, if not all of them. But Genuine has swapped in for, I think, a few of the hybrids in previous rounds, so potentially just a little bit more comfortable for them. And this does dip a little bit closer into that density long note zone that could potentially be more comfortable for a player like Genuine.
We'll see how that works out for Canada. And of course, France switching in, I think, Jerem in for Worst this time.
Yeah, Milla now on, I think, 4 maps in a row. Genuine with an early break, traded immediately by Milla, and then traded again by Genuine. Not even at 400 combo yet, so going to be a little bit less impactful. Now that we're at 400, these misses are going to be meaning more. Milla and Genuine both not feeling great on this. Pretty much constant breaks back and forth between the two, while Jerem and Mr. Moo holding on to the high 99 combos, but Genuine not really able to find any footing here. Struggling to build up the combo, but Jerem does find a break, but Milla now finally finding some consistency on their own side with the combo, but Jerem now on the back foot trying to build up that combo themselves.
It almost feels like France is missing more right now than Canada is, but this accuracy from Genuine is really making a big difference in the score difference.
Yeah, we do see, double miss from France there. Genuine's going to match that, but Mr. Moo holding on to the combo themselves with a high accuracy, looking to do what they can to carry it back. But that's three-way miss. Genuine the only one to survive that section, but had already missed and finds a miss afterwards as the density starts to pick up. And we're just seeing misses all over the place across the board, and France taking a 40,000 point lead just off of the accuracy there. Mr. Moo the highest in the lobby, but Genuine a bit behind everyone else. And France looking like they're going to be able to take a strong break point right here, as long as they're able to hold for the last quarter.
No one able to really hit 400 combo for any real length of time, it seems like here. And that is going to benefit France in the end. They do have the higher team accuracy overall. And despite those misses, yeah, we are going to be seeing our first breakpoint of the match.
Yeah, and that's kind of interesting to see. I mean, Canada obviously knows what they're doing better than I am. They know their team scores. But I'm interested to know why Lelpop wasn't in on that. I would have expected Lelpop to feel a little bit more comfortable, even if it's a little speedier, but I don't know. That kind of throws things for a loop. It makes it almost seem like Canada can't pick into the long notes anymore if that's how they're feeling on something like LN3, which I would have expected them to feel very comfortable on.
Yeah, especially with the last LN being the LN2, the density pick being left over, that does feel a lot more dangerous now after seeing this map.
Absolutely, but France kind of sticking in the danger zone, hit both of their picks, their first pick being good, but the last pick only won by 2,600 points. And that Rise Pool not looking as comfortable as potentially France wanted it to feel. But
I mean, maybe France just picks the LN2 themselves if they really want to get spicy.
That's kind of what I was thinking, but I don't think they're going to be taking that risk this early on in the match, especially right after taking a break point. So Race 5 going to be the one coming out.
Okay, the Osu original coming out once again. It's been a popular pick, luckily enough for us.
Yeah, get to see the Osu original for the round. Evolutionary Anima, always fun to see. 2.5 minutes of mixed rice action. OD8, not the easiest to keep accuracy on, especially with how complex the pattern types are in this. Goes back and forth between some technical patterns, and then the ending even has some chord stream. Lots of tough patterns throughout this entire map. And this is the kind of map I would expect Genuine to stay in on. So, kind of not seeing Canada swapping out. Jerem and Milla both staying in, it looks like, potentially.
Well, first time we might see the exact same four.
Yeah, no swap outs as the start command comes in. First, like you said, first time we've seen that this whole match.
Interesting two maps for it to be across as well. The mixed LN into the mixed rice. We'll see how this one goes for France. We'll see if it is just as close as it was in the previous Rice map that we saw.
You'll have to see. This is maybe the closest in similarity to that first, that Rice 4 pick that came out. Genuine 2 misses right out the gate on some of these difficult patterns. Before 400 though, Milla also finding a break right before 400, matched by Genuine. Both combos up on the top. Jerem and Mr. Moo holding on, but Genuine having trouble finding some footing in this map, and the lead gets to almost 20,000 points very early as Mr. Moo breaks the full combo, and now, okay, right before I was about to say Jerem's name, combo breaks, but Milla finding some footing, holding down the fort as the rest of the lobby struggles to maintain any combo and continuing that trend. But Milla does find a break there, but the accuracy just so far ahead for France at the moment, 50,000 points in climbing.
Yeah, both the highest accuracies in the lobby right now belonging to the two French players. And this is only going to grow over time with no one in the lobby holding that significant of any combo right now.
Continuing to see some misses pretty much across the board. Genuine and Jerem struggling to build that combo back up. Milla and Mr. Moo with the consistency at the moment. Milla does find a break, but 100,000 points halfway through this map means that there's a lot of ground to make up, and Canada's going to need Genuine to start picking up the accuracy and find something within them to build that combo up and try and help Mr. Moo bring this back. But the misses are only serving to grow France's lead at the moment.
Yeah, we're in the 6 digits, 130,000 points, as the difference in the accuracy hasn't really changed that much over time. Milla is still holding on to close to a 99% accuracy, that being the highest in the lobby, and everyone's still finding these misses except for Mr. Moo. Been a while since I've seen a miss from up there.
Yeah, we're hitting the last few patterns. Looks like, I mean, not even the highest accuracy in the lobby, but that ability to combo is coming in clutch for Mr. Moo. Just don't have the accuracy. Wow,
unlucky.
Okay. Missing right at the end, but still gets the MVP in the lobby, just falling a little bit behind for accuracy for Genuine there. So France going to be able to establish a bigger lead now, 1 break point ahead, but Canada has an opportunity to pick something. But I don't know what they do pick in this scenario.
I mean, the main options would have to be LN2 or Hybrid 1. I don't think Canada would want to pick into Rice at all. I think that's just a little bit way too risky.
Yeah, that's kind of the boat I'm in. If I was in Canada's shoes at this point, I think Genuine's starting to fall a little bit behind in the physicality. You have to pick something that I think Lelpop comes in for at this point, because that's what when they were doing their best in this match.
Yeah, that's for sure. Maybe trying Lelpop on the LN, obviously depending on their own internal scores. But if you throw this back a few years ago, this would be a perfect situation to be picking an SB map.
Unfortunately, no SBs in the pool to pick from.
Yeah.
And Canada, I mean, I bet Canada would wish for those SBs to be back, because they've been historically an extremely good SB team.
Yeah, I can always dream. We'll see what they decide to pick. It does feel like a toss-up between those two maps in particular. LN2 is going to be the pick at the end.
So cleaning out the LN pool here. I could definitely see Genuine staying in on this, given the main physicality requirements for this. You don't see an immediate swap out from Genuine, so that would maybe be the expectation. Jeremy Miller also looking like they may stay in for this.
Interesting again. Yeah, same players once again.
A bit of consistency being found from both sides with the player selections. But Canada going to have to dig deep, find something, or else France is going to be on match point here with their own pick coming up. Genuine going to have to dig deep, find a way to hold on to the combo and accuracy, and this definitely going to stick more on the side of the Rice difficulty, and Genuine with a good start. Jerem actually finding a huge set of misses right at the beginning. Milla matching a miss, but Genuine also finding a few and dropping accuracy alongside. And this lead just about this, basically no lead actually going in favor of France now that Jerem was able to find some footing there. But pretty much nothing to be said about a lead at the moment as we get into the slow section. Mr. Moo, the only one with a combo and solid accuracy above 99%, but there's literally nothing here.
Yet no lead whatsoever. Genuine does find a few more misses, but traded one for Miller and Jerem as well. This lead might just stay at 0 for a while.
Yeah, I mean, it's misses coming from both players on France. Mr. Move does find a drop for Canada. That's going to be huge for France to start building a lead here, but still only about 7,000 points as Genuine finds another miss. We're going to get a deeper section here. Double miss from France. Density starts to increase. This is where France started to have issues early on in the map. The lead's still only 10,000 points, but Genuine finding more consistent misses throughout this section, holding on to a 96%. Mr. Move finding some footing, but Milla matching the max combo. Now that lead just about 20,000 points, but a double miss from France, more misses from Milla, but Genuine matching those enough for France to continue growing their lead at the moment.
Yeah, all 4 players finding misses now. Mr. Move finding once more again, but Jerem's accuracy has really been climbing as this map has progressed, almost up to that 98% after the bad start. And that's really what's been growing this lead over time.
Milla finding a break in this transition. Density starts to increase again as players start to try and hold on to this combo. Mr. Moo and Jerem holding onto the combo themselves, but Genuine finding a bunch of misses in a row as that lead starts to increase. And despite the early misses from France, that made it seem like maybe they would start to struggle when the density started increasing. This lead has expanded to 54,000, and Mr. Moo not able to hold up with the combo. Give a chance. So it looks like France will be able to take a break point on this high density LN pick by about 60,000 points and bring it to match point on their own pick.
Yeah, Canada are going to have to win 2 breakpoints in a row back on their quest to take it to a tiebreaker.
Yeah, 3 points in a row and the tiebreaker, and they already banned out Hybrid 3 and have been showing a little bit of weakness when that physicality starts to increase. So it's a long road ahead for Canada. They've got to start it with 2. They've got to beat France on 2 of France's picks, and they have to find something that they can feel confident in. So tough opponent to try and do this against, but they've got to do it. They've got to do something here.
Yeah, I mean, you say find something that they'll feel confident on. They only really have that Hybrid 1 pick left if they do manage to get through the next pick. As for France, though, I could definitely see them picking Rice 1 if they want to punish kind of the physicality.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they decide to go for. I could see any of the Rice picks working here, but you might be right that Rice 1 pick might be more up the alley of France to kind of push the combo game that has been, despite early on Canada showing that they can hold on to combo with more complex patterns, the pure physicality of Rice 1 might be a bit much for them to hold on to the combo with.
And oh no, they're going with Rice 6 instead, so one that is, I guess, out of the 3 that's left, the most straightforward of the Rice picks.
Certainly does seem that way. And I mean, we did see Genuine have some issues when it came to the faster chord stream patterns, especially when we were looking at Rice 5, like towards that ending with the stamina. That could be a factor, though this one's a lot shorter than that Rice 5 pick, and maybe could see something better. It's also less dense, so the change in density could definitely support Canada in this scenario. But we do see Worst actually coming back in once again for France.
Yeah, France really utilizing all 4 of their players throughout this match.
Here we go, Canada on their last legs at the moment, need to win 4 in a row to stay alive in the 7-key World Cup. France looking to end the Canadian threat and move on to the next match in the losers bracket, which is happening right after this.
Yeah, move on to 15 minutes later.
Yeah. Move on to Chile in 15 minutes, but still have to win 1 more point to get to that section, get to that match. And an early break from Milla there. Accuracy drops from both the Canadian players a little bit. Worst with better accuracy than Mr. Moo, Genuine below Milla, and that's a miss from Genuine after, not quite after 400, but closer to 400 than Milla, so that's going to be more impactful as Milla builds up that accuracy above 99% and gets the combo back up to 400. Worst going to trade with Genuine there, but that's going to mainly support France as Genuine continues to have some issues building up that accuracy and finds a few more misses with the higher density patterns.
Oh yeah, big actually dropped there for Genuine, down below 97%. Both of the players on France holding 99, and Mr. Moo not far behind either, but oh, that's a trade of misses on the top row. That's going to benefit France just fine, as it's not that long of a pick, so we're already halfway through.
Not too. We've got quite a bit of map left. We're seeing some consistent misses across the board. Worst and Genuine kind of trading back and forth with each other. Difference there is just the accuracy. Did see the miss from Mr. Moo, but they are back to building up that combo and accuracy, sticking around that high 98 range. But both of the accuracies on France beating out both of the accuracies from Canada with a 75,000 point lead as the density increases and Genuine starts to get lost in the patterns again. But that lead starts to increase for France even further. And I think at this point, there's not too much left in the map. There's going to have to be a meltdown from France to give a chance. But the physicality just ended up being a little bit too much for Canada to come out with a victory here. And France is going to move on to the next match, win it 6-2 to face Chile for a chance at top 12, for a chance at loser semifinals, but they still got another tough opponent ahead. And Canada, unfortunately, will be eliminated from the Oceania 7 Key World Cup.
Yeah, managing to bring it close there for Canada, almost winning a few more of those points, but yeah, they will be eliminated here, and France do get the opportunity to verse. I've already forgotten. Oh my god, who are they versing?
Canada. You mean the winner between France and Chile?
Chile. No, Chile. I mean,
Chile is who France is facing next. They're aiming to make it into the losers bracket for the semifinals round. Let me check who their opponent would be real quick.
It will be Malaysia.
Tough opponent. Tough opponent to face off
against. Lots of tough opponents.
I mean, we're reducing the team pool size so far. We're going to be down to, like I said, 12 teams. We only have 13 left in the tournament, with Chile and France being the final match of the weekend, but that won't be happening until, well, I say that like it's going to be a long time, but 13 minutes. Long wait, 13 minutes. Go get your food, go get your rations to your MWC food, as it were. But you've got a small break. We'll be keeping the stream open for the time being, but make sure to come back in that 13 minutes at 18 UTC for the final match of the weekend, Chile versus France. See you then.